What is up, YouTube? It is Monty, and today I am back again, once again, and we will be doing the end of the year book tag. Now, I don't know if everyone is doing the end of year book tag this year because, if I remember correctly, the creator was Miss Ariel, and Miss Ariel, yes. So I don't know if this is like something we're not doing, but I'm doing it because there's like an autumnal question. It just became autumnal season, so it makes sense to me to do this now, and I'm looking forward to other people's. And I do think that it needs a better name because I think most people are putting these videos out in like October, November, but at that point, like, what are we doing here? We have crossed into too late territory. Also, I do have my phone here with the lovely questions, so if I be looking down, that's what we'll be doing. My Kindle is off to the side because later we will be scrolling through, so Editing Monty will hopefully remember to be throwing up book covers so you have something pretty to look at while I discuss, but there aren't that many. There's like, what, 6 questions? So hopefully this video won't be too long. You're seeing a timestamp. I just sat down. I also did just wake up, so, and by just woke up, I mean like an hour and a half ago, because now that we are attempting to like hide imperfections, there was a moment where we thought we were going to do a look today, but it's just blank canvas. So I just woke up, but I did not just wait. I just woke up like Beyonce woke up like this. Anyway, let's get started with the questions. The first one is, are there books you started this year that you still need to finish? And the answer to that question is yes. I have 3 that I'm going to talk about because the 4th one, did I technically start reading it? Yes, but we got like 3 pages in, so I'm not going to count it. I'm counting the 3 that I actively remember starting and the 3 that I got at least 50 pages into. And so, the first of those is The Royal We by Heather Cox and Jessica Morgan. This I started during some sprints for the Royally Readathon, and I got 100 or so pages in, I want to say. And the story surprised me because I thought it was like William and Kate fan fiction, and it still very well may could be, but the way the story was being told I thought was interesting, and the dynamic there was kind of interesting. So I'm like low-key here for it, but also very much like, am I here for this? So stay tuned, and hopefully by the end of the year I'll have read this and I will have some video out there in the world with my thoughts on this. The next book I started this year and did not complete as of filming this video is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This is a buddy read that I was doing with Monet from Life is Monet. And again, as of filming, I haven't finished this, so I should probably get on that. And then the last one, y'all, I think anyone who's been on my channel, you're seeing this one coming. You're like, you know what I'm about to hold up. And that is Chain of Gold, the first book in the Last Hours series by Cassandra Clare. We don't need to talk about how I haven't read this yet. I haven't read it so long that like the second book is almost out and we're still here. The only reason I want to finish this is so that I don't have to read this and Chain of Iron next year. Now, why I'm continuing to give Cassandra Clare my money? It's a very good question. Are we going to answer it in this video? No. The second question is, do I have an autumnal read to transition me into the end of the year? And I see a lot of people who do like, oh, like what to read for the fall season, for like spooky season, for like back to school season, and I don't fall into that category. I find myself like not really noticing the atmosphere in a book. Like I don't really get wrapped up in an atmosphere. Sometimes I'll comment on it in a review and like maybe that's usually because I think someone else will like be like, oh, this is such an atmospheric read, but for me that's not important, and so I don't have one. Like there's not a book that I reread every year around this time. And so I won't be doing that either. So if you have any fall traditions, let me know down in the comment section, and like maybe I will steal some and we can talk about if those thefts were successful in 2021's end of year book tag video. The third question is there a new release that I am still waiting on? And my gut reaction to this question was no. It was no. And then I opened up my lovely little calendar where I kind of keep track of ARC releases, kind of don't. So there's that. I was going to scroll through my Kindle, but I think it might be easier to actually just scroll through. Is it? Do I really just have like that one? Okay. Okay. So the first one that we're going to talk about is I Hope You're Listening by Tom Ryan. I found Tom Ryan last year when I read Keep This to Yourself. Mostly because I had read, did I read that last year? Two Can Keep a Secret I read last year, right? Karen A. McManus. Total letdown of a book. I do not see the McManus appeal. And through my wanting to read more young adult, like thriller, mystery type reads, I found Keep This to Yourself. I read it as an ARC in like a day, and it was great. You'll love to see it. Iconic, if you will. I Hope You're Listening returns to that like thriller, horror, not horror, but like thriller mystery-esque situation. I think there's like a missing girl or something, and I'm here for whatever, the cover's gonna be over here. So whatever this is, I'm here for it. I'm excited to read it. Instant Karma by Marissa Meyer. I do have an ARC on the Kindle, and I kind of want to read it. It was in a poll. No one voted for that book, but Instant Karma I'm kind of excited for, kind of. I did not write down any of these authors. That was stupid of me. But I have Rent a Boyfriend that comes out on November 10th. The cover is over here. I like the cover. I think it's great. I've already read this, but I think you guys should have it on your radar. But that was Eris, apparently. I've already read this with Erin. I don't know if Erin finished it. I think she did. By Diana Ma. I hope that's correct. And it's about this girl who is living in LA. She wants to be an actress, and she catches this big break. And in doing so, she finds she's filming this. I forget what the movie is, but she's gonna go film it in. I think they're in Shanghai. Maybe that I have Shanghai in the brain because of parachutes, but they're filming it in China. And while there, she finds out that she looks eerily similar to this like mega famous like socialite woman. And then her life kind of I don't say diverses, but like divulges, and so like part of it is her filming this movie, but part of it is finding out why she looks like this famous person. And it was so good. So good. It's the first book in a series, and I think y'all should definitely have that on your radar. I think there were some other books that I got on my Kindle after that one that I didn't actually wind up updating, so let's turn it on and see what ARCs are awaiting me. Let's see here. Let's go back to the first page. Black Sun by Rebecca Rowanhorse, I believe comes out this year, so we can add that to the list of things I'm excited to get to. Super Fake Love Song, I think comes out this year. That might be a 2021 release. I am terrible here. Those are all released because I'm terrible. Those are These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. Hopefully that's right. I'm hoping I'm not embarrassing myself here because I will not be refilming. That's the... Is that actually Shanghai, or do I have parachutes on the brain? But it's like 1920s, I want to say. Is it 1920s? Did I make that up? It's like Romeo and Juliet, but like rival gang situations and Asian. The fourth question is, what are 3 books I want to read before the end of the year? So we went to the closet, we pulled some books, and this is what I have to show you. The first book is You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. The next one was Vagabonds by Ho Jing Fong. I still need to look up how to pronounce this person's name because I'm pretty sure that was definitely not correct when it was translated by Ken Liu. My Mars, Earth, like split at some point. First, you know, they're on bad terms. A group of Martian children, I think they come to school here on Earth, and then they go back to Mars, and their eyes have been refreshed and awakened. I recently saw Rachel from the channel Kalanati talk about this, and it kind of, I don't know, it sparked my interest again, and so I'm excited to get to this one. I also just feel like how this cover feels, so 12 out of 10 recommend it for that reason. And then the last book that I'm hoping to get to is The Unraveling of Cassidy Holmes by Alyssa R. Sloan. This deals with a pop star. I think it's actually in the early 2000s. I was flipping through this and like there were chapter titles like 2001, so like, yes please, sign me up for that. Is there a book that you think could still shock you and become a favorite? Potentially. I don't know what that book would be because I am kind of a mood reader, and so like I don't have like a firm established situation. So any of the books that I just mentioned, any of the books that I mentioned in the Am I Excited to Come Out section, I don't know if they could unseat To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. Like I don't know if that's possible. Like To Sleep and Anna Kay are like god tier reads. Also Stay Gold, Toby McSmith, all of those people, like all three of those books are just kind of up there on a level that like, are these other girlies there? Like, do they have the range? I don't know. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll check in at the end of the year with my best, you know, best and worst book videos. But I would be kind of surprised if anything if anything was going to, and if I actually got to it probably would be Black Sun, because I keep hearing nothing, like literally nothing but praise. Like crickets to anything that isn't like life-changing stuff. So like if anything was going to do it, it probably would be Black Sun. But like, am I actually going to get to it in 2020? I don't know. And the last question is, have I already started making plans for 2021? Kind of, in the sense that like I have some 2021 arcs that I should read, because most, like obviously the 2021 arcs that I have are like the beginning of the year. Like I don't think I have any for January, but like February, March, that has sometimes, like maybe January we'll get like a reading arcs video. I don't know, like we're still in September for me. January feels like a lifetime away, so I don't have any like firm plans, but there are definitely ideas where I'm like, I need to get to. January might be like a Kindle reading month because I have all those e-arcs. I'm trying to get through 2020 first before I start making firm plans for 2021. But that's also just how I do my regular reading life. I don't ever really make firm plans for the next month, which is why September was so terrible, because we tried the TBR video again. Like we tried to plan that out and we see how that ended, or you will see. I haven't filmed a September wrap up, but spoiler alert, it will not be the September TBR. So that's all I have to say here. If you're watching this and you make bookish content, or you want to start making bookish content, consider yourself tagged. I might tag some people in the description. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're all learning together. If you made it this far into the video, make sure you leave this emoji down in the comment section. And I'll see you guys again next time with another video. But until then, bye.